All right, all right, all right. Bonjour, bonjour. Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Getting Tuesday done. Strategy Vault episode. Hey, j'ai oublié that I forgot to write what episode number it is. But I think we're
No.
episode number. Ouais, il faut recommencer tout ça, man.
Oh man, today we're
GTD, we're at
reading
chapter 2, I
two.
think.
We're still starting. It's those are huge chapters, but we're
We're
still
going to need a couple.
gonna
You
be
said we're going to need a couple of lives just for chapter 2.
yeah. We're
I think we're
going
going to need like
over
3 to 4.
it's the most important part. It's the basic. It's the foundation of the GTD method. So those are today we're just gonna go over the 5 tools to clarify, like to position your workflow, your workflows, and to clarify. It's the foundation to clarity inside of your brain, and that's how most top leaders in the world are operating because they have to. There's so many things inside of one day. We all have the same 24 hours, and you can't just be out there telling everyone I don't have time. You need to find ways to do everything and do it with the same quality that you would have done it if you had all the time of the world. I mean, you need clarity to actually split your time, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. How to find clarity.
I agree
I don't
with what you
know.
said about not having an excuse to find the time to get stuff done. And I'll give you one controversial example. You're gonna hate me for this.
I see you coming. No.
Going to the gym. Going to the gym. Most people, when I ask them, why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you? You don't want to be healthy. You don't want to eat healthy. You don't want to train. You don't want to keep your mind and your body healthy. Why? And most of the time, people, and they are busy for sure. People are busy, but they say, I don't have the time. Bro, you got to make time for that. That's something you have to make the time for. You got to keep your body and your mind healthy if you want to keep going. Like, I'm speaking from somebody who's entered the 30s, still early 30s, right? I'm turning 33 years old, and I feel like when I don't train, my mind doesn't work good. My body doesn't work good. So it's interesting that you say that, because
You
that's
can't
one of the
enter
things that
more
comes to
stuff in the
mind.
system when your own system is not healthy. It's harder to actually put more.
Right. Back starts hurting,
Yeah.
You go walk, even if you walk on the treadmill, or even if you go for a walk, you already feel better. Dude,
Just
there's
the
some
energy.
days that I can't even. Some days I can't even sit down and concentrate because I'm pain in my lower back, and it's like, fuck, I gotta go to the gym. So these are like basic things you
I
need to
know.
make time for. And no, it's interesting you say that because I agree. And I don't know. I look at you as a master of this topic. I know you might disagree with me, but I look at you as somebody who has his shit organized and clarified. And
It's a work in progress ever since I've discovered the GTD method, to be really honest. Like I started to implement these principles really incrementally and really slowly inside of my life. And as soon as I started realizing that they are actually very powerful, very effective in taking out all the noisy stuff, like all this. We have so much stuff. Just calling it stuff make it overwhelming. I feel like the word stuff is overwhelming by itself.
yeah,
It already tells that things inside are not clarified and you don't know already like where to place them. Stuff is just things that are not organized yet. And when I realized that I was a really one channel person, I realized that it was my problem. I was actually like I had a pile of everything on my desk with everything to do, and that's overwhelming. I needed I needed um, I call them in baskets, and they call them that way in the book, and that's sticked. The in baskets were the first things that I implemented to fix my life. Man, that was big. So in baskets, depending on which desk you're sitting, if you're at work, you need in baskets for everything that's incoming and that's piling up in some sort of way, and you'll find that you have if you're an accountant, you have receivable, les comptes payables, les comptes recevables, les factures à envoyer. You have different in baskets for all the piles.
Wait, question, Phil? Is an in basket, for example, when something comes in your mind, something pops in your mind, like for example, buy milk or go to the groceries. So in basket is just a place where you put the information as it comes into your head. Okay, so I have a task that I have to do, pay taxes. Boom, I just remembered. So the in basket it was the first place where it'll go. So out of my mind, boom, straight into the in basket like that. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's already out of my head now.
Yes, and the thing is, people think that they need only one in basket for everything. That was my first mistake. So my first mistake was thinking that, okay, now I learned the GTD method. I learned the system of capturing what has got my attention. So that's the first point of the GTD method. That's the first tool out of the 5. It's capturing. So the in baskets are your capturing tools. I thought at the beginning that I needed one in basket for, let's say, clients. Okay, so clients, when the clients were they needed something, they called me, they told me something, so I had an in basket for that. And I thought that every time I received an email, every time I was receiving a call, every time I needed to put everything in the same in basket. That was wrong. You could have an in basket for your clients in your CRM and for your calls. So for the different channels, the different inputs, instead of like rewriting everything, you could just use the input channels that the client used and have in baskets in all these platforms. So it sounds complicated, but let me explain it. In my email, instead of printing emails and having them in my in basket so I action them later on, in my email, in my Gmail, I have in baskets with a little tool. They're not paying me to say that, but I discovered this tool. It's amazing. SaneBox. So it's an AI powered tool that captures where I put in which files I'm putting my emails. It's recording that, and the next time I'm receiving an email about this person or that person, it goes right away in the good in basket in my email. So I have a bunch of in baskets in my email. I have 0 things in my inbox. Like my actual inbox is always at 0. We used to be at 9,000 unread emails, like us at Uninet. We used to be like that. I fixed that at one point. I did 6,000.
We did it together. We did a nice cleanup, a nice email cleanup.
Yeah,
we did it
exactly
years ago. A few weeks ago, we did it together.
A few weeks ago,
man.
And that's why you're telling me I'm the king of that. But you inspired me to do that. You know, I'm not the king, so it's always a work in progress.
That I'm reading this book. It's about you. It's because of you that I realized that I had this issue with. First of all, I have ADD, right? So this whole GTD system helps me a shitload. It helps me stay organized. It helps me stay on top of my shit. It's not an easy read though for me. Like when you say you have several in baskets, does that mean, like, for example, when you're at home and something pops in your head at home, boom, I'll put it in there. When I'm out of the house, for example, my phone could be one in basket, and then at home, this, right? This could be another in basket. Notes,
yes,
whole bunch of shit can go in here.
Yes,
okay, got it.
So there's multiple ways to this, but you start with what you have, and the quantity that you build up will tell you if you need more. Okay, so you start with the little box. If it fills up in 2 minutes or 2 hours or 2 days, the amount of time it took to fill it up will tell you, okay, I have a need for other baskets, so I'm able to capture stuff and later on clarify.
Action
So
them.
part two is clarifying. What is it? And what is this item, and what does it mean to me right now?
And what is the order of importance?
Well, by clarifying
Let's
it,
go deep. I want to go deep
Yes.
in the clarification. I want to go really
Yes.
deep in just the clarification.
Okay,
So
let's go.
step one, we're collecting all the shit that we have to do. Okay, that's easy, right? There's no need to go further than that. You're just capturing it. You're putting it into your basket. Okay, clarify. Now this is the stage where we're classifying what order of importance. What is it? When do I need to get it done by?
So I like the fact that you say the order of importance. It's and they talk about this in the book. It's a very important point. People are always like, where our brain is always trying to look for the most important thing without
True.
without really thinking that might change throughout
Right.
the day. Let me give you a very, very, very specific example. This morning, 8:30 in the morning, I was late, but I was still making my lists for the day. 8:30 in the morning, I had my day planned out. I knew exactly where I was going. 9 o'clock, I dropped my daughter at daycare. 9:15, I get a call for something that's urgent from one of our clients, something that happened this weekend, and that something urgent that needed to be fixed right now, that needed answers. And that took me more than an hour to fix. That changed my day completely. That's the perfect example of why you need a clarity inside of your systems, because as soon as you're thrown off, you need to go back quick to where you were at and know exactly where that place should be. So what's the first priority as soon as you go back, when your day is, because as entrepreneurs it happens every day. You're doing that every day. You're pretty much being thrown off.
Putting out fires. You're putting out
All
fires.
the time.
You put out a fire, another fire reappears. And I guess the important thing to know is, okay, what should I be doing right now? That's the hard part, is what is the most important thing for me to do right now? So like,
Yes.
obviously, for example, like pay your debts. Okay, let's say my credit card bill is due at the end of the month. We're at the beginning of the month. Okay, that's gonna be on my to-do list, but it's not the next most important thing to do, right? That could wait. I have I'm sure other more important things to do. And so when you're an entrepreneur, man, this shit is so important, because it's all about knowing what's the most effective thing for me to be doing right now in this moment. And obviously,
Yes.
like you said, you had an issue with a client that fucking passes everything.
Yes.
Right? That's the bread and butter of
Yes.
your business. That should be the next thing. It should come before everything else.
But that's and it's very interesting, because you say, as an entrepreneur, I identify myself as an entrepreneur, but I also identify myself as a dad. And why I say that is because in the same time span that this happened this morning, I also had to, like any parent this morning, check the temperature, figure out by myself that it's cold outside, and realize that my daughter might need new boots, mittens, cold stuff too. That's also very important. I can't just let my child go out with nothing. That has nothing to do with the entrepreneur and my business, but it's as important. So where do you include all these little things? You're not going to be putting in your business agenda, hey, boots for my child, but it's as important. So where do you put all that?
You're going to have a separate agenda.
You're going to need not only an agenda, but a way of um, um, transferring, or you need a system that is smart and that is working with your priorities as because they're choices. You chose to be a dad, you chose to be an entrepreneur, and you chose to be both all at the same time. You can't just be missing out on all the things that are important on both sides, because you're going to be missing out, right? If you don't find a system, you're going to be missing out on things. We're not Superman. And most of the time I hear, and we're all guilty of that. I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll do it. Don't worry, I'll do it. It's fine, I'll do it. No, I'll take care of that. When we really know that we don't have the time, we won't find the time. We're not going to be able to like. It's like eating 3-4 plates at dinner. Like,
okay,
I
so
understand you.
for me, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, okay, I just remembered to buy my daughter, my son, some gloves and a hat and a scarf. I would be on Amazon while I'm getting dressed to start my day. I would be on Amazon. I would open up Amazon gloves for kids, whatever. I would throw my phone on my bed, put my shirt on, take my phone again, scroll a bit. Okay, I found the hat. Boom, add to cart. That's how I feel like I would do it. Maybe it's not the best way, but as a busy dad, how else are you supposed to do it?
So the way I do it,
Are you going to put aside time for that? I don't think so.
Yes,
I wouldn't.
yes,
I would just.
The thing with this system, what it does is.
Could you buy
So
it in 2 minutes or less?
Let's go in order. We'll go in order.
You always say that if it takes 2 minutes or less, do it right away.
Yes, but sometimes you don't have the 2 minutes because, like I said, I was late. So this morning I was late, and I realized that all across, like everything came like all at the same time. I can't drive and be on Amazon at the same time because once I realized it was cold outside, I had to go. I had to leave. So I put whatever on, and I was like, okay. In my head, it was there. So that's a perfect example because it's there, but you can't act upon it right now. You need a place to put it. So I know, and you can't just leave it in your brain. If you leave it in your brain, you might either forget or it's going to create a drag. It's going to grind in your brain and create a drag where I need the buy boots or buy mittens will stay there, stick. And it will, and one thing is okay. If everything in your brain is completely cleared, mortgage paid, if everything is good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
you could keep
nobody
it,
has only
you
one
could keep
thing.
it in your head. Then nobody has only one thing. So let me ask you, because I know you're a paper and a pencil traditional type of guy. You're to the core. Yeah, exactly. If you're driving, you don't have a paper and a pen handy, or you can't take out your paper and pen. Are you using Siri? Yes or no?
Yes, I do.
Good.
Yes,
Perfect.
I am.
So that's a situation you're driving. Hey Siri, remind me later to
when I get home. My favorite thing is when I get home. So as soon as it detects that I'm home, it's reminding me to write it down, because I do write it down when I get home. It's not reminding me to do the thing. It's reminding me to write it down in the in basket, because once I get home, I still won't have time. I'm gonna be on the phone. I'm gonna be doing something else that's more important. The boot will be important, but not during the day. It's not important. It will get important as the day, follows its course. And at the end of the day, once most of the things are done, this will pop up. So that's why I wanted to go through. All the 5 rules, the 5 tools, because they go in order. You first capture, you then clarify what each item means and what to do about it. So once you captured it, we were still capturing things by telling Siri, "Hey Siri, remind me of buying boots." Right. We're still just capturing. We're not it's not actioning right yet. So once you got home, to be able to clarify is to be able to sit down with your in basket and be like, okay, what do I need to do right now to buy boots for my daughter? I need to go on Amazon and check that. So you need to organize. That's the third part. You need to organize the results of all the clarifying that you've did. I know it sounds really, but you do that really in a matter of like, I'm sitting down. Okay, I got my in basket right there. I open it up. Okay, I got my lists here. Let me check my list. Okay, I said, oh yeah, I need to buy boots. What do I need to buy? Okay, I need to go to the store or go on Amazon. If it's to the store, let's put it like, for the sake of the example. Let's put it like, okay, let's go to the store. I have to go to the store. When will I go to the store? At the end of the day, 4:00. I need to put that in my calendar. So now you're organizing your results, and from there you're going to be organizing you're planning out your day based on what you need to do on each item.
Okay, so let me ask you something now, because this is how my brain works. If I have to go to the store to buy boots for my daughter, so you already organize yourself to go at 4:00. Now, is your brain going further and saying, okay, what else do I have to do that's outside of the house? Do I have to buy groceries? So are you like organizing yourself now for all the things you have to do outside the house while you go get boots for your daughter? Or are you just, okay, buy boots for daughter at 4:00, go to the store, and you come back home and you go to the next topic?
It depends. So there you go. That's very interesting. That's so much like it's actually very interesting.
Because that's how my brain works. My brain is always trying to be.
Most people would do that, I feel.
Yeah. So my brain is always trying to be efficient. It's always trying to get the most things done with my time. So if I'm leaving the house, it doesn't make sense to just go out to do one errand, come back home. Okay, let me look at the next errand on my list. To me, that doesn't sound efficient. Like if you had to go do groceries, for example, wouldn't that be a good time for you to go do groceries?
No. It depends. It depends for each person. But for me, I have to say that errands could be forever. And I have I don't want to get too deep into that, but I have systems for errands. Because it's not all me doing the errands. I cannot take the time to take my car, put kilometers on my car, my time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to do. If I go do one errand, it has to be one errand that only me can do and have to choose. I literally created a system, Jord, where if the task could be done by someone else in my organization, I make sure that person gets hours and gets the money on their paycheck to do that. Instead of trying to save all and be the savior of everything, of all the hours and do all the errands, I was doing that at the beginning. But it would be stupid to try to do all the errands. As soon as you can, need to leave the errands for someone else.
Okay, so let's say you're leaving the errands. So let's frame it like that. You're leaving the errands for somebody else. So you're saying, okay, Kev, I need you to go to the store to buy shoes for my
no,
my
that's
daughter.
Something I would have done for myself, I would say. Okay, I'm talking about the other errands.
But I'm just framing it because for me it's an ongoing battle that I'm having with, not a battle, but it's an ongoing like thought process that I'm having. And it's like, okay, I'm going to the store to get milk. What else do I need outside the house? So now I'm taking my list and I'm looking for other stuff I need. But it's kind of a rabbit hole when you do that, right? It's because there's, like you said, there's going to be never ending errands to do. And then before you know it, like,
so what do you have to do after? So that's the thing. So people don't have something to do after the errand because you need an end. Like you need this time, like the time frame of your errand needs to be determined in advance. If I go for something, I need to be back at home for something else because I have something else at 2. I have something else at 3. I have something else at 4. And that's how, because I'm the same. I'm just like you, and my errands could like end up in like rabbit holes forever. Me going to pick up something at the storage could end up being me doing the inventory on a Saturday afternoon and calling my wife, telling her, hey, it's a mess here. I'm doing the inventory. I just decided I'm doing the inventory. It's disgusting. And on Monday, I need these things to be fixed because like blah, 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 blah. It's just crazy. I'm like that. And I asked my wife, she could tell you. There's been those Saturdays why I chose to do that. And she was like, hey man, like come back home. Are you crazy? Like come back home. You have kids. Like and my brain couldn't decide by itself because everything was important. Everything was important. You need some sense of order. And the sense of order, you get it by first getting some capturing devices to put everything first at its place before you even think about it. Stop think like you if you guys are thinking about everything like, oh, I received this letter. Okay, this is Ville de Montréal. You already know it's a ticket. Take the ticket, put it in the ticket basket. Take it in the letters basket. Take it in the and later on, as your day will calm down, you'll take these like or in the I wake up in the morning. I wake up super early. I work in the weekends. I empty my baskets early in the morning. My Gmail, my stuff, all the things. I empty them. I start with that because it helps me clarify everything I need to do in which like time frame, what could be put by the end of the week, what needs to be called by at the beginning of this morning, like today. I frame that every morning. So every morning I wake up, I clarify my baskets, my capturing devices, and then I organize the results of that clarifying. I organize.
So you have a habit of waking up in the morning. The first thing you're doing is clarifying your to-dos.
Yes, the stuff that
so
just
that's
came in.
What I gather from this is the most important thing is to get into a habit of doing it, because if you miss one day, you miss 2 days after, your shit's all over. Like it's all gonna be a mess, you know. Like there's been times where I've said, okay, enough is enough. I'm done putting shit off. I'm always pushing stuff to the side. Enough is enough now. Let me clarify everything. Let me get down and on my hands and knees and take care of all this junk that's on my mind right now. And I'll spend a day or 2 days taking care of everything. And then I feel amazing, clear-minded, good to go. And then a couple days go by and I don't have, like you always say, you always preach system. And I don't have a system in place. I just fix it once. And then a couple days, I'm back to square one. I'm back to like, my mind is all bogged down, go here, go there, go pick up the bread. Like, it all comes down to habits, and building a system. Because your habit, because getting into the habit, listening to you talk, it's very interesting. Because you say that every morning you wake up and you clarify all your stuff that's in your basket. And so that's what I just cracked the code in my brain right now as I was talking to you. It's habit and system for me. Because I just went back to the moment where I took the time to actually fully clarify and do all the tasks, and I felt amazing. I felt like mind like water state that we keep talking about.
It's really about. I think it's really about, and like getting into that. We just stated point 1, 2, 3, capture, clarify, organize, and you said that after a couple days you lose track of that, and you started like getting. I feel like it's because, like you said, having these capturing systems. So I literally bought. I could show you one. Because I don't even use them anymore. That what's crazy? I'm so deep into the GTD method that now most of my things don't even have the time to enter a device. These I know my baskets so well. I know where they go already. So it's imprinted, and I don't even have the baskets in front of me anymore. If I have to put in the basket, they're far away, like they're. But most of the time, my baskets are already like I clarify right away. Boom, boom, boom. I got into that state, that zone of organizing, and right away. But to get there, you really need to go to Dollarama or like dollar store, get physical trays. For people who are like, if you have a business and you got a lot of people, like if it's paper, you need trays. Start with trays. And you really need to, like, if there's one weak link to that chain, like the weakest link will make up the system. That's why it's never sticking. It's never staying. That's why most people, after a couple of days, they get to that sense of control and then they lose it because they don't really attach it to a physical system or something that really like that they could really trust. That is really like close to them and easy for them to just keep going with. And they never get to that fourth point, which is reflecting on all the. Once you get to that mind like water state, George, you're able to reflect. You're able to create more. And that's when you create a world of opportunity for yourself that you want to pick up. You're like, hey, I've seen this opportunity. I've seen this like construction site being like started, whatever. I know I need to go there and talk to the guy. And because you have time in your brain, you have a time frame for that that's left over. Once you see your calendar, once everything is organized, everything is placed, now you have time for more stuff. That's when you get to that real state of power inside of your brain, and you're like, hey, I'm ready to engage, which is the fifth point. I'm ready to engage with my world with more opportunities. The fourth and fifth point, most people never get there. They never get to reflecting. Hey, man, I have all this shit organized. Now, where am I going with this? What am I gonna do with this week of mine that I have?
It's really it's night and day difference when you get to that state. I've felt it a couple times, and then I just don't keep like. It's all about having a system, right? You just enjoy life so much more. Life is so much more enjoyable. Your mind is more creative. You solve problems so much better. It's like you automatically have access to more of your brain power when you get to that mind like water state, like that Bruce Lee talks about there, that mind like water.
Yeah.
Like your mind doesn't need to hold on to things. It's like it gives you more power, more mental power to focus on other things.
HP, more HP.
Clarity.
You definitely get more torque. You definitely get more torque once you get 100%. To that state. That's true.
Yeah, you're like you have no stress in your body. Like it's really a wonderful feeling. Every human being should live like that. We should strive to live like that. That's why I fucking love this book so much, Phil. You have no idea.
I want to give clear examples
in my library.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Let's just keep going.
No, I just say it's one of those books that's just staying in my library that I'm gonna go back to all the time. You know?
Oh, this one, yeah, of course, bro. This is one for the This is a go-to book that everyone should have.
For the books.
It's one for the book. For the books. But I want to really explain, because I had a hard time at the beginning really understanding the 5 steps and why they how they're so different, like, and why they are also so important. Like each and every of these steps is very important to understand. The first step, the capture step, is really about identifying what's not in its place inside of your home. We all have these, these drawers where everything is not in, like all these drawers, all these paper boxes, not properly filed, properly placed, properly in its place. They're all grinding in your brain, and they're also like. Without knowing,
it's subconscious. It's like you really have to dig to, and you're like, why? What is on my mind that's bothering me? And then as you go, you realize that you did a task subconsciously, and it cleared up RAM in your brain, like a drawer, like that drawer that you were talking about, like that drawer that you always wanted to clean out, that's full of like junk. And
it's the best example. What do you do with a dirty drawer that's full of junk? The first thing you do, you take it all out, you put it on the floor, you put everything on the floor.
Mo Green.
And the second thing, the clarifying part would be what to keep and what to throw away. That's the clarifying
Claudia
part.
Penta.
That's the clarifying part. What are we doing with the dirty socks? Are we keeping them? We're throwing them? The pencils, are we keeping pencils? Are we even using pencils? HB pencil? No, throw it away. We don't keep it. The third part, you put things where they need to go. You organize. it just can't stay in this drawer. If you have pencils, they need to be put like in little things like that. Go put them
Dude,
there.
yeah, you brought up an interesting point, man. Like sometimes I talk to you, man, and it just makes me realize stuff that about me. Dude, I'm a massive hoarder. Square a hoarder.
Everyone's
It's
like that, I
horrible.
feel.
I'm
I'm so
I don't
sick.
think so, man. Because like sometimes I'm to the point where it's like, okay, I want to clean up this area, but there's stuff there that it's like, okay, I don't need this now, but I don't know if I'll need it in the future. For example, like an old I don't know, like old devices or gadgets that's just laying around. Dude, like I could see right now there's a basket of a fucking Bop It toy. Remember Bop It? Bro, I've had that toy for like 20 years. It's just sitting in this basket. I never use it. There's like a couple of weights and like elastic bands that I look around me and there's stuff that I never use. Why is it there? Is there a place that
that's such a good question, bro. It's one of the questions of the book.
And I just want to say something. Like I get stressed when I'm trying to decide what to do with it because I don't know right now what to do with it. And I'm like, oh, but if I throw it out, what if in the future? And okay, it's an anxiety. It's a state that you're not in right now. That you're worried about a future state. Like if I throw this out now, maybe I'll need it in the future and I won't have it. But it's like, so go buy another one. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have this problem where it's, should we get a storage space and throw all the junk in that we don't need right now that we might need later? How do we treat that stuff?
It's very interesting because you know what's crazy? I've been having that problem and I've been moving in and out. And you also been moving in and out of, like, even you, it's worse because you're going out of the country, coming back. It's a very interesting question that I have had to answer for myself because I'm also an order and I have a cleaning business. And I've had clients, commercial clients, telling me, hey, do you want this? We're just giving it all away. Do you want to keep it? And it's all nice enough stuff that you might be able to sell later. Bro, it's crazy. I got crazy at one point. That's the last time I bro, I'm not gonna get into that. That's gonna be for another story. We're already at 37 minutes. I'll tell you in another live my hoarding stories. But I've had hoarding stories because of my company. And what you really need to do is once you clarify, it's because it's a clarifying part that's missing there. It's definitely a clarifying problem. Are you really gonna play with these toys later on? Is the question you need to ask yourself now to get the space you need now. But the question stays, do you need the space? If you don't need the space, you're not gonna ask yourself this question. You're not gonna clarify anything. That's what we do, right? We have a box of toys that we don't use. And my mom did that, and I also did that with the toys that I've bought for my 3-year-old, my 4-year-old. She's not using them anymore, and I'm like, this is still good. Like my later on child will be playing with that. So I put that all in a box, put it away, and I put it away in a spot where it's not bothering my mind anymore. It's not bothering me, but it's still using space. If that space is not, I don't need it now. I don't need the space. It's okay. I put the box there and I have nothing else to place there for my priorities right now. It's not a problem. But here it's a very I have a small house. It's a townhouse. In a townhouse, everything is vertical.
It's not that small. It's good size.
It's not that small, but a townhouse, people who own townhouse would tell you like you don't have a lot of storage space. So I miss storage space, but it's perfect because it's making me clarify on things that I need right now and not on things like that I accumulate for years that I won't need anyways, and that would just take up space, values. Like we're in a city, we need the space. You need your stuff close.
But sometimes, Fel, you don't need the space. You just want it to be clean because it still feels good in your mind knowing that everything's clean and you don't have junk that you're not using. It's just a point of feeling clean and feeling good. When you have a bunch of extra space, your mind just feels clear.
But you would be like,
even though you don't necessarily need the spaces.
If the closet closes, t'es-tu d'accord avec moi? Si le garde-robe ferme,
yeah, but what if you're
we're chill,
wait,
right?
what if you're looking? What if you need something else in the closet? Something else that's in the closet
That's
that you
what I'm
use on a daily
saying.
basis. But every time you open the closet, it's like, it takes me 10 minutes to find what I need.
Exactly. It depends. Yeah, you're right. That's it. So that's it. How well do you want your space to be usable?
Yeah, that's it. It's a case by case. Everybody should have their own. Everybody should tweak their own system to have it the way
It's a clarifying
for them.
problem. It's a clarifying problem.
Clarifying
do
problem.
You really need the space? What do you need it for? If you need it for that, you're gonna need to get rid of stuff. If you need to get rid of stuff, you need to know right now, organize right now where it's going to be. And that's what people don't want to do. They don't get to the third. They don't even get to the third process, let alone reflecting. If you're not able, bro, to organize your stuff and make sure that everything is at its place, how are you going to start? How are you supposed to start a new project? How are you supposed to do renovate? If you want to do renovation, you just can't keep your things all over the place. You need to take the stuff away and reflect on what you're going to put back there, because it's going to be renovated afterwards. You want it to be clean, right? So you need to clarify and organize in order to be able to reflect on what the space is going to look like and what it's going to be. And afterward, you engage with your world, so you renovate. But until you capture the stuff that's not to its place, you don't throw away the stuff that needs to be in the garbage, and you don't put things where they need to be. As soon as you clarify that you keep them, you can't. Like, he was talking in a book about the recipe, like the having people having dinners with friends. The example of the book is pretty simple. You're receiving people for dinner. You're not going to receive them in a dirty house. You're going to clean your house, put the stuff away. You're going to put the stuff away in the kitchen. Make sure that the kitchen is clean. You're not going to cook in a dirty kitchen. Nobody's is inviting people for dinner, cooking in a dirty kitchen. That's the first thing you do. You clean your kitchen. You clean your kitchen to the perfection. I'm like that. You put things away,
and then you'll start cooking.
And then you check for the recipe books. You check for what you're going to be cooking. You start reflecting. That's the fourth part. Fifth part, you engage. You start cooking. We need to separate the reflection. Why? Because you're not going to be able to reflect properly and then engage properly with your world if you don't let your brain the proper airspace. To give yourself that airspace, you need to capture, clarify, organize. Then you reflect, then you engage. And you that's where actions are really, like, I feel that's how you get performance in your work. Your workflows are like, where you're going, and where to put the new incoming stuff. Hey, sorry, Mom, I can't talk to you right now. I'll talk to you later because I have to cook for exactly where and what you're engaging with and where to put stuff. That's it. The quality of your workflow is only as good as the weakest link of these 5 parts. So as soon as your capturing systems are not like you said, as soon as your capturing system or your organizing systems are not in place, you become out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing works.
Definitely.
Nothing works. So you need you need a consistent system. You need something to keep your standards always consistent.
Yeah, like I said, you need a habit. You need a habit. If you mix habit with systems, get in the habit of every day feeding your system with what it needs to be fed, right? Like the in basket and the clarifying part, and it's really like knowing it is one thing, but doing it consistently is another thing.
Yeah, because
every time I feel like every time I talk to you about these things, bro, my mind is clear. You're the best guy to talk to when it comes to this stuff, because like I said at the beginning of this live, I feel like you're a master at this topic. I feel like you've mastered this topic. You've mastered
I love
the
it.
GTD.
I have to say, I love the GTD
And
method,
that's why
bro. It's a
I love talking
life-changing
to you about this
experience.
because just by talking to you about it, it clears my mind.
I feel like it's the you say ADHD, bro. I feel like it's the rapidity and the complexity of the data and the information that's being thrown at us at a crazy speed. Bro, it's the speed at which we're getting information now is just unprecedented. Like, it's never seen in the history of books and word and whatever you like. There was not so much information that one brain could gather in that short time span, like of one day, or like one let alone one day. Like, imagine all the everything your eyes could see in one day is way more than all your parents and grandparents combined could have seen in the
it's a blessing and a curse, though. It's a blessing and a curse. Like, nowadays you think about it, we're lucky to have access to all this information. But it's also our downfall. If we don't have a proper system in place, it's so hard to navigate the world without having that proper GTD system that you preach.
But why though? Because small leaks with added pressure. So that's what we are right now. Small leaks at our parents' time, I feel, would have like passed by, like, because you had more time to figure out the information, figure out stuff. And I'm just saying, I think that's, but small leaks with added pressure is the amount of information that your brain is gathering in one day. That's the added pressure that I'm talking about. Small leaks in your systems with added pressure become big ones. And that's because the volume of pertinent content is not diminishing. You have more and more content that you want to act upon, and that's interesting, with email newsletters and like everything you're receiving. It's not diminishing, and it's just growing. And most people have, their commitments with things inside of their life, inside of their head only, and not inside of systems. Not so it bounces back later on and tells you, hey, don't forget. There's no perfect system at this time like that. Like, no app right now, no magical app. J'ai jamais entendu parler d'une seule application that fixes all this. But this method is actually something that you imprint that into your system, like into your brain. It's
look. I want to share like what I do to stay on top of my right. I host guests in my apartments, right? I run a few Airbnbs, and I used to just take, because like obviously we have there's things that we need to do by law. Like, we need to record all the guest information as they come in, and we need to report them and send the information to the government. Who's coming into your, we need to keep logs of who's coming. I need to keep logs of how much I earned. I need to pay taxes. I need to collect an extra tax from each guest to give to the municipal government. There's certain things that I need to do. And when I first started hosting guests, I was kind of all over the place. The guests would come in. I would ask them for the information that I needed, and then I would just leave it in my phone somewhere. So whenever it was time to submit the list to the government or to submit my tax, I would go into this messy ass list and just start taking information and then putting it all together. And my mind was okay with it, because it's like, okay, I know it's there. I can go get it. It's not like the information is missing. The information is there. It's just not organized properly. So what I started doing afterwards, because it started wasting so much time when it came time to do the taxes, and when it came time to do the logs, it would take me hours. When, man, if I just took the information and organized it properly as it came in, I would have saved a shit ton of time. So what I started doing is I started a Google Sheets, and I made columns. Okay, ID information of the guest, the date of the check-in, how much money I earned. I collected the tax. How much tax did I collect? Check-in and check-out date, all on one sheet as the guests came in. Right away, it was a process. They came in, I took the information, I put it into my sheet, done. When it was time to do the taxes and when it was time to do the logs, it would take me minutes. Because why? Because everything was organized under one list. And if I would just apply this concept to every single area of my life would be a lot better.
The thing is, now that you've done all this, and by the way, perfect example. Like, this sums it all up. You just did capturing everything that was out of this place. You clarified on each of them by creating the columns. And then you organize it inside of one system. And now you could reflect on this particular system, and that's what people are doing right now. And you could engage in something crazy as, like, you could actually create like a crazier system where I call them onboarding systems. I love these, onboarding and outboarding. So as soon as like one of your client click on book,
yeah, they get
everything starts filing itself. Like, boom, they receive a formulaire. Boom, they receive, like, and everything is filing itself up. I'm crazy about these systems, and there's a lot of like they're not paying me for this, but like Zapier.com, Make.com, they let you do that with pretty much everything these days. These are automations.
You were talking to me about that.
These are automations.
Man, we should do an exercise, and live. We make a Make.com system for me live, and we show people how to do it.
I will absolutely show our people how to use that. Yes. We will probably do a seminar. I need more people to gather on this podcast.
Do you think it's
actually
worth
ask
that?
me to do it?
Do you think it's worth having that even for small things, like, or do you have to have like or is it only worth doing if you have like a lot of different like events unfolding?
I've had friends way before Make.com and Zapier existed. I've had friends who were little
better to get used
hackers,
to it,
geeks. They in high school, they were using the power of programming to automate their lifestyle, automate stuff in the side of their life. I won't name them, but those were two of my best friends in high school. They were really geek. They were geeky, bro, but they were so smart. They were able to act themselves automations way before it was like, that was, I won't tell you my age, but that was a long time ago. And yes, you could automate stuff from like your heat inside of your home. You could automate like things like when you go to vacation, when you close your vacation home, everything, your it calls up Bell to tell them, hey, I left my home to shut down your account for a couple months until you come back. You could automate a bunch of stuff, and that's the crazy part about the GTD is it's becoming more and more easier to create systems for yourself. It's not something that's like only for the richer of this world, or you just need to understand how to capture. You need to understand capturing, clarifying, organizing. Those are the hardest. If you get to capturing stuff and put them in baskets in some organized way, clarify your stuff in a timely manner. I do it every day. And then organize your things to make sure that they bounce back. They feed back the stuff that you need to do in also in some timely manner. So you have no leaks and you can't lose everything. You're having yourself a top already with those 3 phases. You have yourself a top system. From there, you could reflect. You could start creating properly.
I like to look at it I like to look at it as like an insane ROI by simply taking the time to sit down and making that system. It might take a bit of time at the beginning just to set it all up, but the ROI that you get from that system is insane. There's no payout. There's no investment that pays out more than that, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And it helps in your personal life, not just your business life, also your personal life and stuff.
Because you have more time.
It makes you more present, less stressed, less anxious. You have full control over
because
everything in
you
your
know
life.
that what you're doing at this time and place is
It
the
makes
right
you
thing to do.
more productive.
Yes.
You know, like it's just taking that couple of hours or whatever it takes just to set it up, and then the rest is all. And then you need to build that habit. You need to build that you need to build that habit muscle that takes about 3 to 4 weeks to build, and then it's like you don't even
Yeah,
think
it's
about
true.
it. Stuff
It's
comes
true.
in, you feed your system the information it needs, and that habit thing is what makes it on is what makes everything is the bridge from your system to autopilot. If you know what I'm trying to say, it's like when you
Of
brush your teeth.
course.
When you brush your teeth before bed, you don't think about, oh, I have to brush my teeth. It's you're used to doing it every single day, so it's like you just go in the bathroom and brush your teeth. It's the same thing when you're feeding your system. Information
But
comes in, it's like, okay, it's like you're brushing your teeth. I'm just feeding my system the information as it comes in. And that's what bridges the gap to being on autopilot.
the end goal also has to be that like that clarified state inside of your brain that you know that we all felt that at a moment in our life. We're not doing the thing
Yeah.
that we should be doing at that particular moment, and it's making us stressed out. It's
Yes.
giving us anxiety. You're at the
Yes.
baseball park, you're watching a baseball game, you're watching your
I
kid,
shouldn't
like
be here.
you
Oh, I need
should
to be
you
here.
shouldn't be anxious.
Yeah.
You should be watching your game. But why? It's not because you're not doing the stuff that you should be doing. It's because you feel that something is left. It's in your psyche.
I could
there.
relate so heavily to that, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my
everyone,
God, man.
everyone, and it's taking that feeling away. That's freedom, my friend. That's freedom.
It's
I have
freedom.
2 kids. I have a little newborn here at home that obviously is taking up much of my spare time. Every time I have a little 2 minutes, I go downstairs, I go help my wife, I try to, but I feel that I'm doing 100% what I'm supposed to be doing on the other moments, because I've placed I've timed those
Yeah.
things so properly that I know I'm engaged
You
with
allow
them.
yourself, and it's like you allow yourself to be chill. It's like I'm
Yes.
allowing myself now to be happy in this moment because I've earned the right to be happy in this moment.
Yes.
I took
Yes,
care of
I
all
did
my
what I
stuff.
had to do.
I did
And
what I
now
had to
I'm
do.
engaged with my world. Yes.
Beautifully
That's the
said.
whole point. It's freedom.
Beautifully said.
That's real freedom, my friend. So
Yeah.
that we'll end up with this, bro. It's already 57 minutes, and let us know, guys, if you want a seminar on automation. We'll create that for you guys. Of course, a free seminar. Just let us know. Let us know in the comment if you want to know how to use Zapier and Make.com to change your life. We'll figure something out on a Saturday.
It would be nice to do a
George.
live session. Yeah, man. It would be nice to do a live session on that.
I want to offer.
And,
I want to do that. I want to offer like some crazy offer for Christmas. We'll figure something out. But thanks for listening,
that's
guys.
a good idea. Hey,
Yeah.
bro, I really enjoyed this session, Fel. It's always
Me too, man.
super. It's always very insightful talking to you, man. And
Thanks, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. I
Yes.
appreciate your
Je te
experiences
redonne le
that you bring
compliment.
and all that stuff, bro. So thank you, brother. Appreciate it. And subscribe to our
Thanks for
YouTube
having
channel.
me,
The banner's
bro.
there, guys.
Yes.
Hey,
yes,
everything
yes.
went good today. No lag, nothing.
No lag, nothing.
Felicitations.
Hey, let's cheer for no lag.
Let's go, man.
Let's go. All right.
All right, guys.
All right. See you tomorrow for a Winners Wednesday.
Winners Wednesday. Yeah,
On se
buddy.
voit demain. All right. Ciao, man.
All right. Ciao, ciao.